Hey, what's up, Joseph? This is a quick demo video for you for your Sabertrio Senza. This was installed with a CFX and it still is. You just had me do some different things, right? So you had a factory install. It had a CFX. There is a slide out chassis that Sabertrio uses. And it has a recharge port with a removable battery. So what I did was I gutted all of that out. I put a removable chassis in here that I'll show you here in a second. You'd also mentioned that you didn't like the OLED screen on here. So what I did was went through, I took the OLED screen off. I put a 4-pixel accent strip underneath this area right here. It's under 2 layers of diffusion. So basically it's just blade material, right? So you got this hard plastic neoprene type substance, and then underneath that is a layer of foam, and then underneath that is your Neopixel accents. I went through also upgraded your Neopixel connector, and I'll show you that here in a second. I went ahead and I left your blade plug in here because this has a Neopixel blade plug, so I wanted to show you that that fires up. All right. Still retained your switches, so your main switch here will be your power. You have a little dome tactile switch here in the back for your auxiliary. And then how to get to your chassis is you just want to unscrew your pummel. Try not to drop it. You'll see your chassis in there. You might have to take your saber like this in your hand, cup your other hand and hit it a few times like that, and then it'll pop out. It is pretty tight in there, so that this PCB right here makes contact with a 14-pin PCB in here. You can barely see it in there. All right, so that one doesn't come out. What I did here in your chassis is I put, there's a 12-pixel accent strip underneath this grill area. There's another 12-pixel accent strip underneath this one. You still have a removable battery setup. Now you have a fully enclosed 28mm Smoke Goes Out Post Elite speaker. I believe before you had a 22mm speaker, so this guy sounds really beefy. All right, I reused your CFX board, although I did swap it around, so now it's easy access to your SD card. You pop it in and out with your finger just like that. You had the Sabertrio setup, so I didn't mess with any of your fonts or your configurations or anything. You do have motion controls on here, so when we go put a battery in, remember, spring side here is your negative side of your battery, so we'll throw a battery in. Now you can twist this on, and these will mirror your blade. All right, and then you can twist it off. Now you can put this chassis in the Saber any way you want, of course, as long as this side goes in first. So just slide it right in just like that. You don't have to push it all the way in with your hands. You can use the pummel. The pummel will take the chassis when you tighten it all the way down. It will push it forward into those pins, locking everything down. And now we can come over here and hit power. So your blade plug's working. Retain your illuminated switch. Hold down for blade lockup. You'll see that in your blade and in this area right here where the OLED used to be. All right, we'll throw a blade in here. As you know, this takes a 1-inch diameter blade. I made sure that when you put your Neopixel blade plug in, that it still sits flush with the top of the emitter right there, so you can see it right there, right? We'll slide that out, put it off to the side, and get a 1-inch blade. This is set up for a full-length blade, but I'm going to use my test blade here. You have several different grub screws on this Saber. You only want to mess with one, all right? So if we're going down here, you don't want to mess with this guy. Get my camera to focus. Don't mess with this guy or this guy. This is your blade retention screw, so this is the only one that you want to loosen. All right, this one is holding your Neopixel connector, and this one right here is holding that piece of the chassis that holds that 14-pin PCB. All right, but when we get our blade in,
Sabertrio. Dark Edition.
So this will always match your blade, red section right here. That goes with your chassis as well.
Sound bank selection.
Light, the balance, darkness.
Or if you want to twist it on. One more time. Just like that. All right, we'll take the blade out of here. I'll put your blade plug back in real quick so I don't forget it. And then we will break this guy down. CFX has a deep sleep, so there's not a kill switch on your chassis. You can either program it for deep sleep mode, or if you want to take the battery out, just come over here, unscrew your pummel again. Chassis is going to be just a little bit tighter because the battery's in it. So again, just take it like this, cup your other hand. Once or twice is all you need, and you can pop it right out. So again, chassis will match your blade, just like that. And then when you want to take it out, come over here from the positive side by your speaker, and you should be able to pop it out with your finger, just like that. All right, but that is basically your Sabertrio Senza. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll get this out tomorrow. Thanks, man.